Good evening. Welcome to the December 7th Conservation Commission meeting. Let's do a roll call vote first. Joan McKibben, Chairman. Tom Levesque,
Vice Chairman.
Vice Chair.
Matt LaFleur, member.
Harry,
Manzigian, member.
Roger,
St. Laurent, member.
Diane,
Diane Flansky, Secretary.
and Mary Godzik just arrived, alternate. Okay, welcome to the meeting. Appointment of alternates. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can appoint Diane as a voting member tonight. So put that in the minutes, please. Is there any public input on non-agenda items? Hearing none, I will close public input on non-agenda items. First item on the agenda. Tax map 22, lot 11, gas station proposal will be at the ZBA this Wednesday evening. They will be recorded. You can call in or no public can attend, but the ZBA will be here. I did send a letter to the chairman and to the applicant stating that the Conservation Commission was in favor of the underground tanks. I said we unanimously agreed that the underground storage tanks for the gas station would be much better aesthetically and environmentally. We took into consideration that everyone in the north end of town is now connected to public water. If the applicant went with above ground tanks, there would be considerable visual impact. We are satisfied that the containment with triple walled underground fiberglass tanks and ongoing inspections will satisfy New Hampshire DES and the Aquifer Protection Ordinance. So they're going for a variance for the Aquifer Protection Ordinance in Litchfield. That's Wednesday night. Oh, and I wanted people's thoughts on when they were here. They talked about last month. They talked about connecting the gas station site to the Moores Falls site with a pathway, and I wanted people's feeling on that idea.
Are they talking about for parking?
No, they're talking about they would have all their parking over here, and they would do this pathway to Moores Falls. I personally am not in favor of it because I think all it's going to do is have people over here want to go get a candy bar, ice cream, whatever, and we end up with a litter.
I agree.
That's my feeling.
I don't think we want to be, I don't want to be connected to a gas station either.
If we,
Well, what you're doing then, you're encouraging people to go out to 3A and walk on 3A to get there. I think it's a great idea to have a pathway to it myself personally. If you're gonna have the type of facility there, but they're gonna go get a soda anyhow, and you're still gonna get the litter, I think you're better off to keep the people off the highway. And look what we did right here on Hillcrest. They obviously made the developer go buy the house up here to get up to connect.
right, but that's to get to the walking path. That's not to
Private enterprise, but still it's a
purchase
safety
anything
issue. You're gonna put people onto 3A to walk there anyhow. is what
But
you're
really,
doing.
why, they're not a connected issue. There's somebody going to get gas and there's somebody walking on a path that's conservation land.
or they're gonna have, I guess, pizza and Dunkin' Donuts too.
Mhm.
So there's going to be people walking no matter
That's right.
whether they go on the road or the path. But the problem is, I don't think that the little sidewalk over to the conservation land is a really good idea. But if
Well,
They're
why?
gonna-
But why do you think it's not?
Pick one.
well, I don't think walking on 3A is a good option either.
So they probably, if they
But-
want to go over there for whatever reason, they will go. And if they don't
Right.
have the path, they'll go out on 3A. So we'll probably get the litter anyway.
Right,
I don't wanna walk
it's
through
going to be
school
6
cars
of one, half a dozen of the other.
But what about people that are just over there to get gas? Do we want to encourage them to come walk on the
Well-
path? I don't know.
Well, I don't think they would be able to do that because they'd have to leave their car over there. They'd have to bring their car around if they wanted to go.
Are people going to park there? Is there going to be enough room to park?
Well, I don't think so. It's going to be like a convenient mart. So they wouldn't want to be leaving their car there. They would, in that case, they would come around, drive, and then go for a walk, you know. This is just for the convenience of people to come over and get pizza, get coffee. I guess they're going to have picnic tables over there somewhere. Yeah, they are.
What do you think, Matt? Yes or
So
no?
maybe, I don't know, what's everybody else think?
I personally like the idea of the path.
Idea?
I
I should say yes.
keep them off the highway.
Road.
Eric?
Yeah, I guess I might
And-
switch my,
I agree with you, Joan. I don't think it's a good idea.
I think that when it gets to the planning board, you know, if the planning board thinks it's a good idea, I think they'll take input from us, but one thing we have to be firm on is even if they sell this whole thing to someone afterwards, we don't want the litter on us, and they need to pick it up weekly or daily.
I think they should drive over to the gas station if they want to drive over to the gas.
Where are the picnic tables?
On their
On their
property.
property.
On their property.
On the gas station
Yeah.
Yeah,
property?
on the gas station property.
Wow. Let them park in the gas station. I mean, I
The
can't
parking
see
is-
a lot
the
of
parking is
people
not
are
an
gonna
issue.
be,
If the parking is an issue, if they're gonna park there and buy something, they'll park there. The issue is
I just want to.
people that are parked on Morris Falls, if they want to go over and get something, they can. Oh, you can't come that way.
I just want to see a map.
Here's the picnic tables. Here's the pathway they're thinking of doing. Here's Morris Falls. Here's 3A.
I don't see why there needs to be a path over there.
Because if they don't have, then that Tom's right, they'll go this way. They'll walk out on.
Well, they'll go to the gas station in their car, and then they'll go to the conservation in their car. But I hate to feel like a snack bar for the conservation land. That's just, it's
Yeah,
just
it's two
competing
different
ideas in my
uses.
mind. I get what you're saying. It makes sense. It's not a fighting point for me. If it's yes,
Michael, what do
it's
you
yes.
think in irrespective of the planning board, when it gets to the planning board? What do you think?
I think I'm going to actually abstain from the
Yeah,
conversation
you would
only
have to,
because
yeah.
I'm the chair of the planning
Yeah,
board,
yeah.
and I think I just want to be fair.
Yeah,
So
can't prejudge. Matt, got any thoughts?
I'm pretty indifferent about it. I mean, if there's going to be a trash can on their side near the trail that they're going to take care of, then maybe, perhaps that's
Yeah.
a way where
Yeah,
people
that's
kind
a-
of leave their
that's a-
trash there. That's the only,
That's a good
because I
point.
can definitely see people leaving trash there, but people are already dumping trash that they're,
Well, not just dumping trash, but just, candy wrappers, the coffee coffee.
And if
whatever.
if there's a trash can on their side for people that are coming
Yeah,
to and
that's a
from the
good-
gas station, maybe they'll think twice.
That's a
Yeah, I
good-
can just throw it out there.
That's a good
And then
point.
people are going to be using their bathroom and everything else. See if they feel about that. It's just, I'm fine. If you guys want to do it, it's good. But I definitely think it changes the feel of who we are.
Well, it's gonna change the feel of it anyway. The gas
Anyway,
I
if
think-
the building's gonna be there, they're gonna have the refreshments there, they're gonna go get it if they want it anyhow.
Yeah.
Now, the row of trees that's between that piece of property, is that on our land or is that theirs?
I think,
Because are they going to cut that buffer down or?
well, we're gonna, at the planning board stage, say we want a buffer and we want landscaping back here.
I mean, the trees are kind of scraggly, but I mean,
Yeah. We definitely want to keep the tree buffer and even enhance it a little bit. And then, they could put a path there,
Mhm.
would save people from going on to the.
I think that if they do that, I think that we'll go with Matt's idea though, that they have to have a trash.
Yeah, I
can
like that
stay
idea.
maintained.
Well, that goes without saying. I mean,
Well,
Just gotta
I
have
think
a
you got to
brain.
say it.
Yeah,
half a brain, you should take care of that.
What about if we find, or if it's found, that there's more trash being deposited on the conservation land?
yeah.
Can there be signage put up or?
I'm not a big fan of a
something?
bunch of signage, but when this comes to the planning board, we have to be sure we get everything on the plan that we want in writing. A trash can, and it may be, obvious, but get it on the plan and,
A rubber trash can with daily disposal of trash.
yeah,
End of
exactly,
discussion.
exactly.
Two sentences.
Look at all the trash that people just chuck out their car windows
Well,
anyhow.
Well, yeah,
Not so
we
much
walk,
anymore.
we
No
walk
matter
that
where
through.
you walk.
All right, I just wanted to
Trash.
get some thoughts on that. So when it gets to
That's
the
all.
planning board, you will be notified because we're in the butter, so we will get a notice. Actually, I'll be doing the notices, but anyway, we'll be sure to let everybody know and either come to the meeting or write your concerns. Andrew's not here for online mapping too. I meant to tell him he could come in any day, not just Monday or Thursday to get that done, so we'll skip that. Association of Conservation Commissions, I did zoom in on the November 7th annual meeting. I took a bunch of notes, which I didn't bring. But the big thing on the wetland rules is there's certain items that the Conservation Commission, let me think, doesn't have to sign off on anymore. I'll have to write that up for you because it's important that the rest of you know when a wetland application comes in, what do you do with it? Comes to the town clerk, and there's a few of them that we don't have to sign up anymore, so I'll write that up. Number 4, Morris Falls kiosk repair. Okay, the Eagle Scout did send me all his verbiage of the hat on the plaque. So the 2 plaques that got destroyed down by the river need to be replaced. Maybe not till spring. I don't know if we can do anything now or not. But I have the verbiage, so I'm looking for a volunteer to laminate them and get them back, the plaques back out there. Matt did find somebody with a trowel at the foundation and moving bricks or digging up bricks.
So what I found when I went out there, I think it was on Thursday, I found a trowel, like a little green trowel, in the ground right next to the building foundation there by the lock. And right nearby, I found some bricks had been pulled up from the foundation, and it looks like someone had been digging around in there. But yeah,
Did you bring the trowel out of there?
yeah, it's in the shed now.
Would it be indicative of somebody with a, coin collecting type of thing, or with those
Metal detector?
metal things?
Perhaps I can't say for certain who was out there, but it looks like somebody was certainly digging for stuff in that foundation. I have seen on a geocache site dating as far back as 2003 that foundation is listed as the location of a geocache. So
Good spot. So in that same idea, we need to get those cameras. I meant to tell you to bring them tonight. What do we need to get? So we have the 4 cameras.
Yep.
What do we need to put in them to get them to work? Do we need SIM cards in all of them or just 3 of them?
yeah, so I have 2 SIM cards right now. I have batteries in one. The batteries burst in the other one, so I have no idea how well that camera's going to
Well, you
work.
can give me that one and we can get that cleaned up.
Okay.
Next. Have somebody
But yeah,
experience that.
I can go put that out at some point, depending on where we want to put it. But we do have to.
How well can you aim them? If you get them high, how well can you aim the camera?
It's the little strap there isn't 100%. It's kind of hard if you want to angle it down from a great height. I'd have to, if I wanted to keep it at a arm's reach, then I'd have to kind of bring a ladder out there and get it up a tree. And then you have to contend with, you got to make sure there are no branches in the way, because then they're going to trigger the camera and then you're just going to get a bunch of blank pictures of the branches moving. So it definitely takes a bit of practice and getting used to get those cameras, in the right spot where they need to go, and make sure that people aren't going to steal
How many,
it.
you have 5 cameras?
We have 4. But we only have two SIM cards, so how much are the SIM cards?
I can't remember.
Well, buy a couple, we've got like $40 left. Go. I'm going to Staples tomorrow. Did you get them at Staples?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just text me what, because there's probably different ones. Text me what I'm looking for.
Okay. It's probably, I think it was recommended a 16 gigabyte
Okay.
SD card. I'd have to double check, but I think that size is a bit better, because especially if you're going to leave it out for a long time, it can fill up pretty quickly. I have it set to the 15-second video. There's a couple different settings for the camera
Okay.
for video or pictures.
I think we need to get, before we replace those 2, we need to get something down there. Any volunteers to replace we can get them laminated here, but then how did he have them? Well, you can look at the other plaques. How are they attached to how's the laminated sheet attached to the board?
So he took the laminated page, put it on top of the board there, and then he nailed down some plexiglass over it and just kind of sandwiched it in there.
Yeah.
And that's basically all there was to it.
They were
And they were
Hold it.
damaged?
2 of them, yeah.
2 of the 4, which was interesting.
Well, 2 down by the river.
Right, because then the
Somebody
other 2.
vandalized them though?
Yeah, yeah.
Are we sure that that's what the cause was?
They lasted quite a while.
No, they did.
Do we go back to the Boy Scouts then? Call Kerry Douglas?
No, it was an Eagle Scout project, and he sent me the wording for that got torn off. I have all the wording on my computer, so we can print that out and laminate it. We need to fix the stand. The stand is still there, isn't it? Just
Yeah.
where the
Both stands
placard
are there.
goes.
Just the board and the signage there is what's gone.
Somebody had to work pretty hard to get that off there. Any other questions there? Let me see.
No, I got it covered. Thanks.
Now, how did you make it with the trailblazing people? The mountain bike people wanted to do some trailblazing on, I guess, town property?
So there was some confusion. They were referring mostly to the trails on state land, and at which time I told them we can't touch that. That's not our deal. And I referred them to the land manager over the Division of Forests and Lands. He's in charge of that.
Somebody's blazed the Londonderry trails. Was that them?
Londonderry Conservation did that.
Oh,
They had like a whole day where they convened with volunteers, and then they set out to blaze all the trails. They have different colors for the different trails. As always, Londonderry does a pretty good job with maintaining their trails out there.
pretty. I don't think Boulder Dash was blazed. At least last I looked, it wasn't, which is nice because nobody knows about Boulder Dash.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was getting too much traffic. It's kind of hidden now with the leaves down. A few people are using it.
You just have to pay attention where the leaves are matted. You just pay attention and wear orange, hunter orange.
Everywhere.
I haven't been seeing a
Everywhere.
lot of that, unfortunately.
You had not?
No.
Especially the bikers.
I've seen a handful of them have been wearing it, but again, yeah, it's not a lot of people in general who are going out there in the woods have been wearing orange.
There's a lot of new people going out in the woods, so it's worth saying again, just even at our meeting, that there are hunters in the woods. They are allowed to be there. They check on all the herds and everything else that are out there.
And Fish and Game's opinion is the woods is not closed to non-hunters, but please wear orange. I saw a biker with a black hat and a blue jacket, and he's moving. That's not going to be a pretty picture.
Yeah.
Well, isn't deer season over?
No, December something. December
And it doesn't even matter. They're always hunting something.
something. Yeah.
Somebody's out there shooting coyotes or whatever.
Yeah, second Saturday in December, I think it ends.
Yeah.
Could be
So-
this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're out there feeding their families though, so we just want them to not be dinner.
Okay, the next one is going to take a bit of discussion. Warrant article for March town meeting. We had talked about changing that warrant article in our conservation fund. I think this was it was 2014. This was voted in. It's the one, it's number 18 there. Yeah, oops, sorry.
Pass one down to Mike.
You wanna look underneath, I can do it.
We'll need one more.
Here, man. Oh, I have the original.
You got the original?
Yeah, I got
All
the
right.
Thanks. Okay. So, number 18 in 2014 passed. It says, to see if the town will vote to rename the fund, which has in the past been referred to interchangeably as the Town Conservation Fund, the Conservation Land Acquisition Fund, and the Conservation and Land Acquisition Fund. Change it to the Conservation Fund, and to confirm that this fund may be used for all purposes authorized for conservation funds under RSA 36A. So under 36A is our enabling legislation in the state. And we may acquire in the name of the town or city, subject to the approval of local governing body, by gift, purchase, grant. Let's see, we can acquire fees such as land or water rights. Let's see, where is it? Okay, money may be expended from said fund for the Conservation Commission for the purpose of this chapter without further approval of town meeting. So you can, receive gifts of money. And we were trying to change the wording perhaps to, okay, here it is. Let's see. You can spend money to acquire, maintain, improve, protect, limit the future use of, or otherwise conserve and properly utilize open spaces and other land and water areas within the city or town, and shall manage and control the same. So the argument has been with the budget committee, use your fund that you have for operating expenses, and we don't want to do that because, as someone wisely said, that is like using your kid's college fund to pay the electric bill. So I don't know what kind of a opposition we would have if we wanted to change this. What's everyone's feeling?
It was a popular warrant.
What?
I said it would look like a popular warrant article passed.
I think it's just because the selectmen approved it, and when people are going through these, I think they're just saying, oh, the selectmen said yes, okay.
And that would be the problem. The budget committee wouldn't have to, I don't think the budget committee would have to vote on it because it's not a money
There's no
article.
money article.
But it would be either recommended or not recommended by the Board of Selectmen. If it's not recommended, you know what happens. Doesn't
The
pass.
problem is that land is so expensive, and the money that we have isn't going very far towards
Right.
buying land anyway.
Right.
And that brings us to the next thing, is that there have been some parcels of land that have been bought that we haven't been privy or had an opportunity to bid on, and I think that we need to think about getting more land money, which I know has been part of one project, rather than less. That those pieces of land aren't going to be there if we don't get a chance to bid on them, and to use the money, like you said, as a college fund for the electric bill is craziness.
They did put us in the capital improvements program for this year, right? Coming this 21. Now, how does that work, Mike? Do we have to do a warrant article to get that money? Well, obviously,
Don't we
you're
have
not just going to give it to us. We have to do a warrant article.
I believe so, yes.
But if we don't have anything in the works, we're not guaranteed just to get the money, right? Just because it's in the CIP,
Yeah, I mean, the CIP is really
a wish list.
A wish
a wish list, exactly. It's not exactly, not, set in stone, you know what I mean?
Right.
But we do want to make some future plans, and that's where we have to be at, is we want to know some of those pieces that are going up for sale before they're actually being listed.
The other thing is, as land becomes available, we want to look at it and say, well, okay, right now the town has plot A, B, and C. If plot D is way the heck over here, it stands alone. And a lot of times when land is purchased, it becomes an alleyway for species and things like that.
Right, you want the connect the
Right,
connection.
so
But some
you'd
of
like to
these- some
see
of these
them
pieces-
connected together, which is what we've been trying to do in the past.
Right.
But 39 acres can stand alone. I mean, some of it is big enough that we
Well,
can.
there's also parts of it that really can't be used for building and developing. Anything under the power lines,
But we'll get into specifics on the non-public. We're not going to talk about that now. We'll just talk about the warrant article now. Do we want to go ahead and try and change this? If we do, somebody's got to get up there and speak to it at deliberative session.
Now,
It's not going to pass.
that survey that the planning board had done, I believe there was a lot of input regarding people wanting more preserved land.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was.
They want
Agreed.
us, I mean,
Yeah.
didn't see the specifics of what else, but I did see that was like one
I
of the
want to say
highlighted topics.
76%, I think.
So the iron's hot, and this land isn't going to redevelop. I mean, we're not going to get new land.
But we
down
have,
the
but
river.
we have to, first we would have to explain what current use is, because most people don't understand where the money's coming from to start with, and what current use is, that we get, that's a percentage when they sell the land, or they change, not when they sell, when they change the use of the land, that we get 80% of that penalty money, and 20% goes to the town.
Do we want to change it? I vote yes. Should we call it to a vote?
So what are we doing here? We're going to change the name?
Well, no, we wouldn't change the name. We would keep the same name, but the way it's written now,
Delete that. The fund may be used for all purposes.
yeah, it should be we changed, the fund may be used for
Buying land.
appraising and purchasing land or purchasing rights
To be
of
more
land.
specific in terms of,
Yeah.
like,
That's, yeah.
Because
Kind
now,
of changing it back to where it was,
the
Michael.
budget committee wants us to use it as our budget. And we don't want to nickel and dime it. The fund.
So do we want to call that to a
Do
vote?
you want to make a motion?
I make a
Didn't-
motion that we change this back to the way it was, so that we use the money that is in our account from current use to purchase land only,
And appraisals,
appraisals. You'll have to
purchase or purchase the development rights.
Okay. You can be specific.
You can't second what? What?
I was gonna ask a question.
Go, well, first does
Let's get a
somebody want to
second.
second the
on
motion?
table. So
Somebody want to second the motion?
I'll second it.
Mike seconds. Are you taking notes? Good.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your question, Marion?
So what you want to do is basically change it to include everything that the Conservation Commission does.
No.
Does that mean,
No, that,
Opposite.
what it is now is everything the conservation, we want to change it to say only for purchase, appraisal, and buying development rights or water rights. You don't want it to, what it's saying now is you could use it for everything.
well, what I mean is like upkeep on our trails and things like that. Would that go in out of the budget?
That's what we would
That's
like
what
to
you want
have
it to
be out of
be.
the budget, yeah. Upkeep on maintenance
Mhm.
should be coming out of the budget. This year they cut our budget in half for 21.
Again?
Not again, no, just, we're down,
Well,
our
then
budget
it-
is $700 and some for 21.
So I think this is more specific to purchases,
Right,
purchases of land
right.
to the property itself.
So we
Not
don't,
so
we don't
much.
take all our money and buy shovels and stuff that we
And-
that we
and-
use it to
No,
buy
I
land.
agree with that.
Yeah.
But, okay.
So
Any other questions?
No.
We're just gonna need to get the verbiage so we know what we're voting on.
okay.
Right
So,
now, right now, the-
okay, and to confirm that this fund may be used for the purpose of purchasing land, appraisal of land to be purchased, development rights,
How about purchasing land and related fees?
well, that wouldn't include development rights, not that anybody's gonna sell us development rights, but. it's
you
nice
need to have it
try.
in there. That needs to be there.
It needs to be there.
All right, purchasing land, development rights, what else?
Appraisal of land. Well, it's fee simple, it's called to purchase. So those three.
Those three things. Okay, I got them.
Any more discussion?
So exactly what are we voting now? What is the verbiage we're hearing now?
So to confirm that this fund may be used for, instead of all purposes, used for purchasing fee simple land, development rights, appraisal of properties. Appraisal of property to be purchased. Those three things.
Sounds good.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0. Okay, so now, I'll have to look at the cutoff dates if we need to go to by petition or if we can just get this in on time. I'll let you know. Alrighty, so the next thing is, we don't have October and November minutes.
We have October. I sent those to you last month.
I didn't print them. All right, we're gonna hold off again on minutes. Rainfall reports? Any?
Yes. For the month of October, I recorded 12.45 inches of rain, and we had 3 inches of snow.
Wow.
First snow was on 10:30, and the actually first measurable snow was on 10:31. And the coldest day we had was on 10:31, was only 17 degrees at 7 a.m. November, what a crazy month. Warmest day was on the 12th. We had 62 degrees at 7 a.m. The coldest day was on the 19th, which was 20. I recorded 6.8 inches of rain, and we had a trace of snow. A trace meaning that we had snow, but it wasn't measurable.
Great, thanks. Okay, is there any other business before we go to non-public?
I brought it up on my email, but I made a Polk sled. So now for like work in the snow, I can literally just tow like any equipment I need behind me. I don't know if anyone's familiar with what that is, but it's like a little sled that you tie about your waist, and it's using metal rods to keep it at a distance from you. So when you're going downhill, it's not whacking you in the back of the legs. But now we have a means of managing the trails in the winter too. So
Great.
That like a travois,
what's that?
like a travois, like the cowboys used to use, put on their horses and,
Pull behind them?
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Did you buy that?
You made it.
You made it.
Yeah, it's a lot of duct tape was involved. It works.
What color duct tape?
Regular.
Silver duct
I
tape.
got some
Should be
glasses
flame.
on.
That's good. Alrighty, we'll have a roll call vote to go into non-public for 91A3 C and D for non-public session. I'm in favor.
Diane.
Roger?
Aye.
Yes, Harry? Mike?
Aye.
Marion's alternate. Matt?
Hi.
Aye.
Okay, we'll be in non-public at 7:32.